It's a sunny day outside, and it's even a sunnier day inside here at the studios, the South Florida Business Today, and with my segment, Art Talk. And since Anthony Merlino is right now attending to a conference, I will say the talented and lovely Susana Baker. Anyway, I am so excited because, there's so many art happenings. And the Art Talk segment is supposed to bring you everything from the canvas to the red carpet. And last week was some fabulous things to my friend James Eckel and Annette. Philanthropist, I heard, was phenomenal. It's a great organization. I mean, they do Soul of Miami, Philanthropist. This is all part of James Eckel's group, artfest.org. And I have to tell you, someone else is going to talk more about that. That is my guest this morning, the lovely and talented Ileana Colazo. Good morning, Ileana.
Good morning, Susana. How are you?
I'm super excited to have you on my show. It's been long overdue. I mean, you are such a pioneer. You're also such an advocate to the neighborhood, to the arts. I don't think there are borders with you, but I know I met you in Little Havana. And I know you want art in public places. And you're going to tell my guests a little bit, since we're unscripted, you're going to tell them everything that I fell in love with you. And I actually consider you like like you help everybody. You're always lending a shoulder and ear advice. You're always hands-on. I don't think you have the word no in your vocabulary. At least with me, that's what I've learned. You've always been ready and willing. You were one of our Hispanicized artists at the event at the Intercontinental 2 weeks ago. Actually, the owner, Manny Ruiz of Hispanicized, the creative founder, and for you guys, Hispanicized is a huge platform for the who's who of the Latino bloggers, tweeters, and journalists in music, entertainment, and journalism. And Ileana graced us for a day. And she had everybody buzzing through the hallway. Have you seen her work? Have you seen that lady's work? Manny ended up buying your piece. So congratulations on that one. Tell us a little bit about your trip here. Why Miami? Why the arts? Ileana Colazo.
Well, I believe that as an artist, I have a responsibility to be a community advocate. I am an ambassador, activist, and advocate for the arts, for the Little Havana Merchants Alliance, but art is universal. So my canvas is the entire world. I am very committed to helping nonprofit organizations. I am very happy to say that I very closely support Aspira and a lot of other organizations, because I believe that an artist has a community responsibility to just not only be a for-profit, but also a non-for-profit activist, and someone who also is very, very conscious about the cultural landscape of the city. And that is one of the reasons why I love Susana Baker, because she is an icon of the community, and she brings culture to a city that is growing tremendously due to the efforts of people like her. For me, art is a way to communicate beauty and communicate culture to an entire population, from children to adults. My inspiration came from my grandmother's garden when I was little. I have several bodies of work. Some of them are abstract, the others are florals, and everybody has their own little niche. A little funny sideline is I just did my 2 first graffitis, which are Myra Wexler named me I See the G. And even though they're the ones that are portrayed in this particular segment, it is not my largest body of work.
No, it's not.
It's my playground.
I know. I apologize, and we're going to resend out a flyer. No, you have the most colorful abstractions that are just, I call them like the everlasting Garden of Eves, because they change in colors and moods, but they evoke always emotion, and always a positive emotion. Maybe one more melancholy, one more intense, one very happy, one very bright. But your abstraction definitely are a movement of fluidity, of just wonderful lines that combine with circles and not full circles. They're half open and they flow into another color. And so I love your abstracts, and they are evoke emotion with the color palettes that you choose so perfectly, and perfectly in a spontaneity, in a very spontaneous way. Thank you. I'm all twisted over here. But I saw you in action. And I remember when you came to Hispanic Sites, you said, you know, you're really testing my skills for painting live. I don't paint really live, and let's see if I can finish this in 4 hours. And what you did in 4 hours was amazing. I mean, you were all at it there with tons of colors and cups and this and all kinds of brushes, skinny brushes, big brushes, and just going at your canvas at it. And I have seen your abstracts. I'm in love with your abstracts. And I was wondering myself, when you said that to me, I said, oh, I wonder if she will finish. And you did finish. I mean, nick of time you finished. But people were already bidding on you because you were in a very good area. So people were already excited and walking by versus other artists that were sort of hidden and they didn't get, well, honestly, I didn't get the bid sheet to them on time. But everybody got bought at Hispanicize. It all empowered Aspira. And, you know, that's another project. When I called you for the Aspira Arts project that's happening in Wynwood with George Cabrera, you were one of the first artists that said, absolutely, tell me what time to be there. And it was at 8 o'clock in the morning breakfast invitation. And I was very surprised with the art community that came to really promote, support the Aspira project. And, you know, you were the first one there. Elazar was there, which to get up at 8 o'clock was like, I'm here. And Josh Kingston and Hans Clem and Pepe Villegas. I mean, there's just, and you know, Ileana, I have to tell you, I also fell in love with you because you have this heart that you wear on your sleeve. And we're not perfect. You know, I send flyers off. Bob Goodman, I screwed up his flyer the other day. I'm so sorry, Bob. But bottom line is we are really wearing our hearts on our sleeves. We wear a lot of different hats. We depend sometimes to someone to help us. And sometimes it doesn't work out to what we expected. So we end up doing it again by ourselves. But we're always ready to support and help and become an advocate. And I believe that if you're on this earth, if you do not give back to a child, whether it's through supporting your schools and beyond just a $5 PTA fee, but really supporting something, whether it's in the arts or your local institutions that then build programs for schools and kids, you know, becoming a member of the PAM or History of Miami, it's little peanuts compared to what they use that money for. And going out there and doing like what you did for us, which we're so grateful, where you painted a beautiful 4,000 or 5,000 canvas easy for whatever people would bid on it, in order for all that money to go to the Aspira Arts Project, which helps inner city youth, Latinos and Caribbeans all throughout. It doesn't have to be Latino anymore. So I gotta thank you again and again and again, Ileana. Now, I know you're part of the Merchant Alliance and the Art Experience, which is a company that is part of ARTTALK. We are now formally going to be opening up by the end of this weekend the Little Havana Visitors Information Center. We don't have all our things aligned for the center, but we're opening it up with a body and to answer any questions and to give out information on all artists in all communities. But you have a special project that's happening there. Can you tell our Talk listeners about it?
Yes, and I would like to take this opportunity to formally invite Miss Susana Baker to support my project, because she is so instrumental in the art community. It's called Floral Fantasies, Real and Imagine, and it's going to be seating and planters that are painted by some by me and others by other local artists, and they're going to be connected to squares, so that the four squares, so that the visitors can hear about the artist that created the particular piece, and also the surrounding businesses in the area. The reason why I actually applied for this grant and was lucky enough to win is because I feel that Little Havana needs the boundaries, the artistic statement that says, here I am, this is what I do. So we plan to spread the word out in the public art arena. So aside from the galleries, you have visuals outside, outdoors, so you can see. So I thank Susana for saying that she would be a part of it, and
absolutely,
I am so excited about it.
I actually, you know, these planters that you're doing, and I'm so happy because I love la gallina, los gallos, the chickens,
Yes.
the big chickens.
Yes, yes.
I love them, but somebody needs to do some loving care to them. They're falling apart. So it's nice to see something new and fresh going into Little Havana. Now, I don't know how big these planters are. I hope they're big enough. But I was talking to my buddies at Home Depot. And I don't know where you're getting your planters from, but that might be definitely a place. And we could discuss this after the show. But absolutely, I'm there with bells on. Consider it done. You know, whatever I can do, whether the platform of my radio show once a week or the platform of my journalism, which I'm writing for Venue Magazine for New York, Connecticut, and Hampton. That's a venue with the 2 dots on the top of the U. And eventually soon I'll be writing hopefully for Venue here in Miami for the Latin version. I believe that arts should have a platform of a voice, and I decided when I was given the opportunity for the Bloomberg radio show from Wall Street to South Florida Business Today, which is this particular segment, that they honored me with 15 minutes. I wasn't going to sell my 15 minutes. I know in radio it's a very expensive platform, and all the other colleagues bring in business people that pay them $300-400 for 10 minutes to talk about their company. I decided that was my way of giving back to the arts. I was never going to charge one bloody dime from anybody and give them their day to talk about what they do to empower our community, because I do believe artists empower the community by just being here, by believing in Miami, by making this their home, by building a studio, by paying rents, by giving taxes, and still trying to be an artist as a full-time job. It's not easy. When people think I have a lot of money because I write for a magazine and I got 3 pages, or I have my own radio show, they say, boy, she must be loaded. Forget about it. When you're in the arts, you're never loaded. You know, we hope and we dream, but our treasures come by the smiles of empowering children, empowering those stiff businessmen that do finally take a look at art and say, you know what? Let's get some canvases for my office. Let's do art class for my employees. Let's do a company morale out, experiencing the districts of art. And that, I know, is coming along slowly but surely by people like Ileana Colazo, like myself, and like all my other guests on these shows. These are people that are artists, but they wear their hearts. Ileana, one thing I really love about you also is that you said a lot of people do not realize that by sometimes giving back to the community, which I would do without expecting anything in return, but it does come back and it does pay you, whether it's someone who sees you and makes the connection, or someone who's there and loves what you're doing for free but ends up owning a company. Tell us some of those experiences.
Well, actually, I've for Miami All Stars, Carlos Amarilla, I donated a basketball that I painted. He was a Cuba Ocho, and he had all these men who are Cuban artists, and I came right up to him. I didn't know him, and I said, excuse me, there are Cuban women artists too. So he invited me, and we had a special event at the Coral Gables Museum, and I exhibited my work, and I am so proud to say that my basketball is the first one that has been sold, and with the money of the proceeds, the whole team was able to go to Colombia to play. So I just heard about that, and I'm very excited about it. Yes. And I'm also going to be donating to him again through Wells Fargo Bank.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we have a lot of projects going, but I think that, to backtrack just a little bit, just so you know, let the cat a little bit out of the bag. What's going to happen in Little Havana, we are going to build individual installations that Colazo Art Studio will be building. So we're building the planters and the seating.
Okay,
It
good.
is a special,
Okay.
but you can help us because there's still going to be things that are going to take money that Home Depot can help us with.
Oh, don't worry.
But it's going to be individual so that it is really installations that are artistically specific to each artist. So it's going to be a fun project, and we hope to grow it a lot.
Well, you know, my friend Sherwin Williams would probably like to help.
I love Sherwin Williams. I must say in the air that I had never painted with house paint, and I fell in love with what I was doing.
Well, you know, Sherwin Williams, just to backtrack for the Art Talk listeners and South Florida Business Today, Sherwin Williams is a sponsor that has come to support our art projects. And one of them is the Aspira Arts for the Youth. And so they have never hesitated when I picked up the phone and say, look, we're doing this, please support the artists with paints. You know, they're coming out with their time. And you guys are not small potatoes. I mean, you're mid-career artists, and you know, we know that you're in galleries, some are in museums, and they sell for several thousands of dollars if you were to buy from the gallery to come out and help to bring the buzz and to, you know, also to the arts, but also to themselves, and more than anything to the children. That to me is amazing. So by going to corporate major bigwigs like Sherwin-Williams, where a gallon is like $69 and 5 gallons is like $300, you know, we wanted to get great paint, and we wanted artists to use something that they probably wouldn't use. But knowing the quality, it's over 100 years old, and the quality of Sherwin-Williams is amazing. And they have a perspective that they don't want to be considered grandpa's paint. You know, because they've been around 100 years, so they got like the old grandma. They want to be considered young, chic, and cool, you know, and rolling still with the times. And so by them seeing that, and I thank so much Jason Rivera for that, the VP of Sherwin-Williams Multicultural Outreach Programs, to lend us the platform of using their paints for free. And so I'm glad, Ileana, you enjoyed it, and maybe this could be something for Calle Ocho, you know, because one thing that the art experience, myself, Susana Baker, anything that any artist has that they believe is going to be something to give back to our children, and this is for the legacy. I consider myself, anything I do from now on has to go back to the children, mine and everyone's children, because they're all our children. You know, every child is all our children. This is who's going to run the world tomorrow, and how we empower them is so important. And I know, Ileana, you were just in Philanthropist Fest doing that.
Yes, I was.
Tell us about the experience.
It was incredible. The only thing is that after the Sherwin-Williams paint, I missed it a lot because I was given tempera. It's a completely different medium. So the Sherwin-Williams paint is something that I missed. But I did another painting in Philanthropist that I will be donating to a wonderful organization of women with breast cancer that actually have a choir that they sing, and they have a special program that is going to be coming to Little Havana as well. So this painting was also donated to another organization of a similar caliber. But I'd like to also...
Where's your gallery? Do you have a gallery?
I actually work in my studio at home, Colazo Art Studio, with my husband, Miguel Collazo. We collaborate, and we paint together at our studio with our 4 dogs, our cat. My granddaughter is often in the studio, and my husband complaining about the noise, and I love the dogs, but he doesn't. But we have our studio at home.
At home, okay.
Yeah, but I'd like to backtrack a little to the Little Havana project, because I would also like to ask your permission to somehow connect the Aspira School to the Little Havana project.
I would love that. Are you kidding me? That would be a dream come true. I was going to ask you, but I didn't want to do it in the air.
Well, you know, you know what happens? That I think that the artistic community has to come together as one. I know that there's Wynwood, there's Little Haiti, there's Little Havana, there's Burt Road, but we are one people, and to make a strong community, like I'm always connecting other artists to all my connections, we are a network. And people tell me, well, don't you mind? Well, if I was the only artist in the world, it would be a little sad and boring. So to me, the more artists, the more energy, the better. And I think Aspira is creating the artists of the future that we can be so proud of.
Absolutely. I think George Cabrera would say, I mean, kids from everything. I mean, taking buses out. I mean, yes, absolutely.
That would be an honor.
We could definitely sit and talk about that. Now, Andres Conde's gallery that just opened up this Saturday. Was it Saturday? Yeah, Saturday or Friday?
It was Friday.
Friday, okay. I'm so lost with time. Friday was amazing.
Amazing.
Amazing. Not only did this artist go from downtown, from the McCormick place that he was, which, you know, Sean McCormick is doing a lovely job, but he went there and he invested his monies, his energies to find a place in Little Havana, got a nice studio, opened up his gallery, And talk about artists supporting other artists. There was over 300
Oh, yes.
people there.
Yes.
And many artists. And the support and love. You know, I'm from New York City. And in New York City, I mean, I don't know if it's changed. I've been in Miami over 26 years. So, honestly, I consider myself more a Miamian. But in New York City, there's a lot of cliques. And to get into those cliques, you got to be sort of invited in. Here, as soon as someone lands and says, I'm an artist, people just want to put you under their wing. I saw it done with Pepe Villegas when he got here a year ago from New York. I saw the community embrace him. That's how I got to know him. And I always see artists sending me other artists, like, oh, take a look at this one. I think that's how I met you. I can't remember exactly how I met you, but I believe it was something similar again. And so I love the fact that you know, that the artists come and support each other and don't feel like this is mine, only mine, and no one can see it. And so you're right. You know, you definitely have a great head on your shoulders and a great vision for the city, and you definitely are the first one to share it. So I got to tell you, Ileana Colazo, you are my superstar. I think you're an amazing woman, not only wearing your heart on your shoulder, but a very intelligent one. And so what you're seeing, and by giving back, you know it's all going to come back, whether it's for a city, whether it's to shine the light on one person, but it's all going to shine on all of us. Because collectively, we're all here. This is our district, one big district of Miami, full of artists, multicultural diversity, and that's the magic of our city, you know? I had 39 Brazilians on my bus yesterday.
I saw it.
Yeah, you saw that, right?
Yes, I did.
And I had a tour operator who's been here for many, many years, never went to Wynwood. They looked at me and they go, I didn't even know this existed.
No.
But a lot of people don't. I got to tell you, through my art tour company, The Art Experience, we tour people constantly from Miami and say, oh my God, I never came here. You know, a lot of people only go to Art Walk and only think that's what it is. And you can't curate, you can't talk one-on-one language with a dealer or a gallery or an artist in their studio on Art Walk. It's impossible. So they're missing the whole true beauty of these galleries. So with this said, I want to just tell everyone, you have to go to Ileana Colazo's website. Can you tell everyone your website?
Well, actually, I am rebuilding my website, but right now you can go to Ileana Colazo in Facebook, and you go to albums, and you see all of my body of works. I have like 7 or 8 bodies of work.
Ileana, spell your name.
It's Ileana. The last name is Collazo, and I have like 7 different albums with bodies of work there that you can definitely open and look at. My husband tells me that usually artists develop one body of work at a time, but my biological clock is ticking. I'm a grandmother. I'm building them all independently at the same time.
Sounds like someone I knew with business. I have to tell you, Ileana Colazo, it was a pleasure to have you on my show. Keep empowering, and that's, you know, when you smile, the room lights up. It lights up entirely. I can see how wonderful. I can't wait to get the Aspira kids to work with you. The Aspira project, we're going to have another artist council, and I know you were there right away.
Yes.
We'll be having one in 30 days. Aspira George Cabrera is inviting the artist community, anybody interested in being part of these communities of empowering or being part of any project that you think, or getting a hold of Ileana Colazo, 305-767-5000, 305-767-5000. We're also we have our Facebook page, Art Talk with Susana Baker, so you can get this interview and more information on Ileana Colazo, her wonderful projects. And so, Ileana, anything else you'd like to tell to we have 2 minutes. So,
in closing, to me, culture is the heart of the city. And the artists are the blood that are pumping the culture into the city. So become a visitor in your own city. Become a tourist in your own city. I moved away from home in my 20s, and I became a tourist in the place where I was. It's sad that you don't know your own city. There's so much happening. And please follow Susana, because she will take you down the artistic path in a way no one else can. I suggest that you guys get on the bus and Learn from Little Havana from Susana because she is the major ultimate expert of art in Miami. And
Thank you.
I adore this woman because she is
But
culture impersonator.
Ileana Colazo, I adore you. I adore our art community. I think it's a fabulous community. And I welcome anyone to see the Miami Art Districts as a native. If you call me or if you go to my website, theartexperiences.com, or call me at 305-767-5000, I will be happy to give you 50% off and show you a fabulous time and take you to these hidden gems in our city, and some not so hidden, but some people don't dare to cross the tracks, let's put it that way. And I gotta tell you, from Wynwood to Little Havana to Bird Road to the beach, we have a community of artists giving back to this multicultural, diverse place. And from Pam, and I thank also my sponsors, Sherwin Williams, George Cabrera from Aspira, and I also thank Jorge Perez from the Pam, for Aspira, for Hispanicize. He sent Ioani Sanchez from Cuba. So we have a lot of powerhouses wanting to bring in and support artists and events. So call me if you have something for the community. I'll try to help. Susana Baker, 305-767-5000. Go to Art Talk with Susana Baker on Facebook. See Ileana Colazo's interview. Ileana Colazo, thank you once again for coming on Art Talk.
You're welcome. It is an honor to be here.
Thank you, Ileana. Next week, Andres Conde.